Namanda Vatsinamanda 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 Vatsinamanda.
Good morning and Happy New Year!
Good morning.
Glad to see you're all here. My name is Carrie, along with Darlene and Tiffany for Dharma class. We would like to welcome you to a service. We will begin our service with opening meditation, followed by Nembutsu. Please join us in placing your hands together in Gasho.
Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda Utsu Namanda Utsu Namanda Utsu Namanda.
Please rise if you're able for the singing of the Gatha when we see the golden sun on page 227 of the service book, followed by the recitation of the golden chain and Nembutsu on page 5.
And then, today we're going to have leaders for the Gatha, so Chloe and Kay and Maymay as well.
By golden chain.
Oh, golden chain, okay. You can stay up there, it's okay. Golden chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu.
Thank you, ladies. So please join in the chanting of the Sutra Jusei. Why would we do this? Page 95 of the service book. During the Sutra chanting, we will have Oshoko, or incense offering, by the following: Dharma School student Chloe Ota and adults Lon Kitagawa.
Gagon Chosegan Hishimu Jodo Shigan Fumanzok Seifu Shogak Kawo Muryoko Fuidai Seishu Fusai Shobingu Seifu Shogak Kashi Jobutsu Myosho Chojibom Kukyomi Shomon Seifu Shogak Ryokujin Shonen Choei Shubongyo Shigumu Jodo Ishoten Nishim Chiniki and Daiko Ushomu Saido Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shuyakunan Kaiichi Egen Meshikomoan Heisoku Shoakudom Tsuratsu Zen Shumon Koso Jomanzok Iyodo Jibo Nichigatsu Shujukim Tenkon Bugen Ishukai Hozo Kosei Kudokuom Jodai Shuchu Seppo Shishiku Kuyoi Saibutsu Kusoku Shutokuon Kane Shitsujoman Tokui Sangayo Nyobutsu Mugejim Tsudatsumi Fusho Gangaku Erik Toshi Sai Shosom Shiganya Kokam Daisen no Kando Koku Shotenin Toru Namanda Vatsinamanda 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 Namanda.
So if we can all listen real closely for a Dharma message by Reverend Candace Shibata.
Okay, good morning, everybody. And if I haven't said it enough, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining us, especially on this very wet and windy morning. So as I was thinking about the new year, I wanted to kind of incorporate this feeling into my message for today, especially for those of you that may not had an opportunity to join us for the New Year's services. So when we think about starting over, many of us think about the new year. We think, next year I'll do better, or I'll try again in January. So I've been one to kind of think in these terms as well. But Buddhism teaches us something very comforting and very important. We don't have to wait, and we can reset at any moment. So today I wanted to share a simple way to remember this using the word reset. So you know we're big on acronyms here. So R is remember to pause. Remember to pause. So when something goes wrong, we get angry or frustrated or sad or overwhelmed. And our first reaction is often to rush or react or to blame. But a reset begins with a pause. Just one simple breath. In Buddhism, even a single moment of awareness matters. So we don't have to fix everything right away. Just pause, and that pause is already a reset. So what about E? E, we talked about it just in R. So E is exhale and let go. Exhale and let go. So after we pause, we breathe out. And we let go of what's holding on too tightly. So this can include harsh words, worries, mistakes, or expectations of being perfect. In Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, we're reminded again and again that we are imperfect beings, so we're imperfectly perfect. And of course, being imperfect is okay. So we don't reset by becoming perfect. We don't say, I'm going to be perfect next time. I'm going to do perfect tomorrow. We reset by letting go of the idea that we have to be perfect. So what about S? S is see what's here. See what's here. Next, we gently look at what's really happening. Not to look at what should be happening or what we wish is happening, but just this moment. Maybe we see, I'm feeling tired. I made a mistake. I'm feeling hurt. Or I've overlooked something. Buddhism teaches us to try to see clearly, and of course kindly, not to judge ourselves or others, but to maybe focus on understanding. So what about E? E is to entrust and embrace, entrust and embrace. And that is very important, especially when we think about Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. So in Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, we don't rely just on our own strength. Of course, we have our own efforts. However, we entrust ourselves to boundless wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha. And that's Amida Buddha's wisdom and care and concern of us every single day. So even when we fail, even when we forget, even when we need to reset for the 10th or 100th time in the day, we are already embraced just as we are. So that means that we're not alone. And what about T? T means take the next small step. Of course, it doesn't have to be a big, gigantic step. It's a small step. So it doesn't have to be a big promise. It doesn't have to be a New Year's resolution the next year. Just the next thing, just in the next moment. Maybe it's something like saying, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. Or you just try again. Take another breath if you need to, or begin once more. So that's plenty, and that's enough. So, of course, the new year is wonderful, but it's not only the time for new beginning. Every breath is a doorway to starting anew. So every moment is a chance to reset. So when life feels heavy or confusing or messy, unorganized like my house is right now, just remember, we have to pause and let go, see clearly, and trust, and begin again, right here and right now. So to conclude my Dharma message, please join me in Gassho as we reset together. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Naman.
Thank you, Reverend Shibata. Now we will have January birthdays. As your name is called, please come up and burn incense. Receive your cupcake and have your candle lit by Sensei. We will start with the older students, and please come up quickly so we can get everyone up in front before the candles burn away. Okay, I'm not sure if that many people are here, though. Okay, Dharma School students, Rainier Belts, Akaya Garcia, James Nashi, Chloe Ota, are there any other students with birthdays in January? Okay, adults, Carrie Wong, Leonard Ishihara, Joyce Tsutsumi, Lauren Nakaue, Luke Byram, sorry, again, Achilleos. Sorry. Are there any other adults with birthdays in January? Oh, Joyce, yay! Now let's sing happy birthday to our dear friends.
That was a really nice little group, even in this rain. And we want to thank Peggy for Nursery Kindergarten for their cupcakes today. Homemade, you missed out if you weren't born in January. Okay, so for announcements, the church's crab feed is on January 10th, coming up very quickly, starting at cocktail hour. It begins at 5 p.m. Please make your reservations now. Seating is limited, but let me tell you, we got plenty in the gym, so if you're on the fence, please call. I believe the reservations are supposed to close on Monday. Head count goes in mid next week, so please call the office Monday if you would like to come join the crab feed. We always have a really nice raffle that goes with it, and this year Mark is cooking our pasta. So I heard it was I missed the crab feed. I heard it was really good at the crab feed, so looking forward to tasting it on Saturday. So please make your reservations and support the temple. Join us for our Ho'onko service, which is on January 18th at 10 a.m., followed by our New Year's party and potluck. So we haven't had entertainment since the pandemic. It's kind of been tough, but we have two groups to entertain you in the mini chapel. We have the Stramingos, and then the Dharma Friends Taiko group is going to play a song. So please come and listen to them and support their efforts at our church. Church Omigaki, or the church annual cleanup, is on January 17th, so everything will be bright, shiny, and clean for the 18th, starting at 9 a.m. We need all volunteers, so please, if you are available, come and help. The church annual meeting is on Saturday, January 24th, starting at 1 p.m. in the mini chapel. Remember, this meeting is not just open to board members, it's open to all of you. So if you would like to be here, we won't put you in an office because elections are done, but if you would like to hear what's going on and at the temple, both the good and the challenging, please come and let Ruby know if you will be attending. This is the changing of the guard as well. So we thank Debbie Nakata for her 2 years of service, and we welcome back Candy Hayashi for her 8th term as our temple president. So she brings lots of experience. So we look forward to a fantastic year. Reverend Shibata's book club and study class is on January 28th at 6:30 p.m. If you are interested in obtaining the Zoom link, let Reverend Shibata know. Buddhism of the Heart? Okay, so the book is Buddhism of the Heart. It is by Jeff Wilson. He's a Jodo Shinshu minister in Canada, correct? Yeah. So, and he's a really good writer, and he's very understandable, and there is no pre-reading required. There is no exit exam. So please come, and I just checked it out on Amazon to make sure I had the title of the book correct. You can obtain it by 5 p.m. this evening if you order now. So no excuses to not get the book. You can also order it through the office and the BCA bookstore. So cans and bottles are now being collected by the YBA. So please leave your recyclables by the white barrels by the mini chapel. We want to do all we can not only to support our youth group in fundraising efforts, but also keep all of that out of our landfills. As you know, conferences are very expensive now to hotels. After the pandemic, they charge you for every little thing. I think the last time Northern California hosted a conference at a hotel, they wanted $6,000 to have coffee for like a 3-hour segment. So things are very, very expensive. So the FBWA, Federation of Buddhist Women's League, is hosting their conference in October, and they are selling panko. This is the bag of panko you can buy. So I've been told by my friends in Southern California, the gentleman that makes this panko makes it for the restaurants, but he packages it specifically for nonprofits in the area to sell. This has been imported by Southern California on Christmas Eve, and so it's $3 a bag. If you used all your panko up at New Year's, please see me, $3 a bag, and it supports the Federation of Buddhist Women's League. And then also our local BWA, or Buddhist Women's Association, will be having a meeting at 11:30 in the mini chapel. If you are on the Constitution and Bylaws Committee, there is a meeting at 12 o'clock. So please attend those if you are able to. And are there any other announcements? Mike, do you have anything? Mike's the calendar guru. I'll give it to him.
Most of the events are, she mentioned. Following this service is a short ski service. Students will be dismissed to class. Those who do not want, who do not attend short ski service, you can go to the mini chapel for coffee and friendship. 11:30, there's also the Sangha Fellowship in the gym, and also the Dharma Friends Haiku in the gym. Thank you.
Also in the foyer, there's the 2026 BCA calendar in the foyer, so pick it up, one per family, I believe, or, yeah, okay. Typically one per family. But please pick one up before you leave. You're now dismissed to class, Dharma school students, and we thank you for coming to the regular service.
Okay, good morning again, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, despite the rain and wind and kind of scary traffic conditions too, driving conditions. But I appreciate you coming in person and, of course, joining us online as well for our monthly Shotsky Memorial Service. And this is an opportunity for us to turn our hearts and minds to our friends and loved ones who have passed away as we think about them very lovingly and really reflect upon the Dharma in our lives as we remember them and honor them today. So we'll begin today's service with the chanting of Sambujo, which is 3 respectful callings, and this can be found in the front inside cover, first page of the inside cover. And this is a chant or a hymn that we typically chant together as we call upon Amida Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, and the Buddhas of the 10 directions to be present. This will be followed by the Hyobyakumon, or dedication or declaration, and of course the reading of the Shotsky names. So please join me in the chanting of Sambujo. We have gathered today to observe our Shotsky Monthly Memorial Service. This is our monthly service to remember friends and loved ones who have passed away in the month of January. They are Yoshio Asai, Kazuichi Doi, Michie Egusa, Tom Foundation, Michie Fei Fujiki, Hiroshi Fukuyama, Jack Shigechi Fukuyama, Gary Hajio, Naka Hajio, Toshiko Hamaji, Keiichi Hayame, Kaname Hirata, Hiroko Hirota, Tak Horita, Masano Ikeda, Judy Yoshie Imanaka, Cheryl Sadame Ito, Mei Kajioka, Kusuichi Kamada, Tamie Kamada, Kikuno Kaneishi, Masao Kawada, Tomiko Kawasaki, Nobutaro Kawatake, Motokichi Kikawa, Fumi Kitagawa, Sumiko Kochi, Akiko Koga, Susu Koga, Mitsunori Komure, Alan Shigeru Kuboyama, Kisei Kumamaru, Jusuke Masai, Yak Matsumoto, Laila Matsumoto, Nobutaka Matsumura, Masai Matsuno, Kikuyo Matsuo, Tadao Mikasa, Albert Mamoru Morimoto, Hitoshi Edward Nagata, Lawrence Nakano, Sam Isamu Nakao, Naoyuki Nakashima, Fumio Nishida, Joe Atsushi Nishihara, Yayono Nishihara, Henry Nishikawa, Tadashi Shie Nishimori, Yae Nishimoto, Yoshio Nishimoto, Henry Moto Nita, Masayo Nita, Kenroku Ota, Mary Yoneko Okuna, Dorothy Okuda, George Tatsuo Okuda, Masaki Oshiro, Shotaro Otsubo, Mei Fumiko Saiki, Masao Sakai, George Sakata, Yoshi Sasaki, Die Sato, Michi Shimada, Kikuyo Takemoto, Roy Masaru Tashima, Umeko Tateyama, Grace Tauchi, Hiko Tomimatsu, Robert Toshio Tominaga, Kathy Kiku Tomura, Yukiko Tsujimoto, Elmer Tsunakawa, Toshio Tsunakawa, Chiyoko Ueda, Chiono Helen Ueda, Kazuo Ueda, Kyoko Lillian Ueda, Gunji Ueyama, Michiko Haruo Umeda, Katsumi Ueda, Satoru Uekubo, Charles Shigeto Wakai, Ben Watanabe, Seiichi Watanabe, Henry Akira Yabumoto, Soyo Yabumoto, Peter Yagi, Richard Yamada, Shizuko Yamaguchi, Dorothy Chisato Yamanaka, Fui Yamasaki, Narumi Yanagi, Kimie Yasuda, Agnes Setsuko Yoshimura, Grace Sumiko Yoshimi, James Yoshino, and Yoshio Yamashita. We realize in the cherished memories of those we love and have lost, the impermanence of all the world is revealed. May the fragrance of the incense teach us the purity of our intentions. May the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of life's impermanence. May the lights that burn brightly on the altar lead our thoughts to Amida Buddha's light of wisdom and compassion. Please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. We will continue the service with the chanting of Sambutsuge, and during the sutra chanting, everybody's welcome to come forward to offer incense. Sambutsuge can be found starting on page 81 in our service book. 精進三昧智恵一徳無量修正敬無人体前年小仏崩壊愚人寺の空語外体無明欲ぬ世尊読む二の四子人徳無量空軍古代知恵寿命光明微相神道大仙観が差仏最小可動生じ未不下脱不正上位解任精進尿税三昧知恵以上公正特仏不行志願一切空空一切大安慶始無仏百千億万無量大小修行五者供養一切死と小仏不尿愚道検証不逆非尿五者小仏世界不不下無種節道光明師匠変死小国尿税精進異人難量量が差仏国土第一公衆奇妙道場超絶国領内音二無闘争加藤愛民到達一切地母大小心熱症状意図が国慶楽和音古仏神妙世が心象発願の日力少々欲地母世尊知恵無下浄土子孫知が信行慶道心子食毒中家業精 Watsinamanda, 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 Okay, at this time, please stand if it's comfortable for you to do so for the Gatha Suicho no Uta, verses 1 and 2, which can be found on page 222 in our service book, and this will be followed by the three treasures on page 2. I'd like to read the translation before the three treasures. Suicho no Uta. Though you are gone to the Pure Land, my thoughts are of you, longing to see your face. It floats before me when I intone the Buddha's name. Beneath the spring flowers or in a garden of singing insects, on an autumn night, taking your hand, I rejoice in Oyasama's compassion as I long for you. Please join me for the recitation of the three treasures on page 2. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb in ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through periods of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Nama. Please be seated. And thank you to our Gatha leaders, Kay and May. I appreciate it. And of course, Chloe in our first service. So at this time, I wanted to deliver a Dharma message or sermon for today's Shotsuki. So to begin my message, will you please join me in Gassho as I read a passage from Renyo Shoning's letter on white ashes. Life swiftly passes, and who among us can maintain their form for even 100 years? Whether I go before others or others go before me, whether it be today or whether it be tomorrow, who is to know? Those who leave before us are as countless and as fragile as the drops of dew. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namandawatsu. Namandawatsu. So thank you again for attending today's service. And again, as I was mentioning during the New Year's services and this morning's service, at the beginning of the new year, we often hear words like having a fresh start or new beginnings or turning the page. And of course, January invites us to look forward, to imagine what might be possible in the months ahead. And yet, as we gather today for our Shotsuki monthly memorial service, we are reminded that the start of a new year can also be tender and bittersweet. For many of us, January does not only mark the beginning of something new, it also marks another year without somebody who we love. The calendar moves forward whether our hearts are ready or not. And sometimes the turning of the year reminds us very clearly, and sometimes painfully, that the beginning of another chapter of life is occurring without those who once walked beside us. Shotsuki memorial services invite us to pause and to remember. They remind us that remembrance is not separate from daily life. It's woven directly into it. And in January, remembrance often feels especially close to the service. For me, this month holds a very personal reminder. January 14th is my mother Jackie's birthday. Each year when this date approaches, I'm reminded that it's another birthday that we don't get to celebrate with her the way that we once did before. There's no card for me to write, or no phone call to make, or a trip to her house, or no cake to share. And yet, there's love still. There's still deep gratitude, and perhaps it continues to grow with each turn of the calendar. There is still a presence of her shaping my own life. A way in which my mother is still with me and her love is shared with others is through cooking for others. So I must admit that I'm not a baker, and my mother would say this about herself too, that she didn't like to bake. But like my mother, I love to cook. It's probably because my mom was such a wonderful cook, and she shared her food with others so freely. And most of the food that I make are recipes that she shared with me. Her food was always so comforting, and she would always cook our favorite dishes for our birthday. I now try to carry on this tradition, making food for my family, and they usually pick their favorite dishes like beef stew or manicotti or spaghetti and meatballs, and these are the ones that she would make for us too. So when we think about this Shotsuki monthly memorial service, we think about grief, and grief, it does not simply disappear just because time passes. Our founder Shinran Shonin never taught that awakening means that we no longer feel sorrow. In fact, Shinran Shonin was very honest about the depth of human emotion. He wrote openly about his own sense of loss and uncertainty and limitations. Rather than urging us to rise above grief, his words remind us that grief is a part of being fully human. Shinran Shonin described himself as a person, quote-unquote, full of blind passions, deeply aware of impermanence and suffering. He did not pretend to stand apart from pain and suffering. Instead, he lived squarely within it, entrusting himself to Amida Buddha's boundless compassion that embraces us always. In our Jodo Shinshu Buddhist tradition, grief is not a failure of faith. It's an expression of deep love and gratitude. If we did not love deeply, we would not grieve deeply. The pain we feel is a reflection of the connection that we shared. Renyo Shonin, the eighth head priest of our Jodo Shinshu tradition and the author of the letter that I read, the portion of the letter I read, worked very tirelessly to bring Shinran Shonin's teachings into the lives of ordinary people. And he often spoke about the fragility of life. He reminded followers that human life is uncertain, likening it to a dream on a spring night or dew upon grass gone by the morning. These words were not meant, of course, to frighten his followers, but to awaken them. Renyo Shonin urged people not to postpone living meaningful lives. Because life is uncertain, he taught we should listen deeply to the Buddha Dharma now, appreciate our connections now, and live with gratitude now as well. Grief then, of course, becomes a great teacher. When we lose someone we love, impermanence is no longer an abstract thinking or teaching, something that we haven't felt before. It becomes very real. It enters our bodies, our memories, and of course our daily routines. And even though my mom has been gone for more than 20 years, I think about her every day, and she is a part of my daily routine. There is a pain that we notice when there's an empty space at the table. The quiet moments when we instinctively reach for the phone and think, oh, I want to call my mom, I want to call my dad, I want to call my grandma or grandpa. But in that same moment, we realize that we're not able to do that. There are days, of course, they come and they go as well. And yet, Jodo Shinshu Buddhism reminds us that we are not asked to face this alone. In remembering my mother on her birthday, I'm reminded that everything I am today has been shaped because of her. Her values and her kindness, her way of caring for others continues to live on. Not because I hold on to them so tightly, but because they flow through me. This is one of the quiet gifts of remembrance. Our loved ones simply belong in the past. They continue to live within the causes and conditions that shape who we are today. Shinran Shonin taught that our lives are deeply interconnected. Nothing exists on its own. In this way, those who passed away are not separate from us. Their lives are a part of this ongoing story that we call our own. There's many times when I think about my life and think about the story of my life, and I often wonder how different my life would be if my mom was still here. And maybe was he? I'd admit that maybe be a minister if she didn't pass. And this is a way in which I kind of think of her passing as still a gift to me, because I encountered the Dharma in such a profound way because of her life and her death. At the start of the new year, this realization can gently shift how we look forward, as I was mentioning. Instead of thinking of the new year as something we must face alone, we recognize that we carry countless lives with us. Those who came before, those who supported us, and those who loved us into who we are today. Renyo Shonin again encouraged people to reflect on death not as something distant, but something that gives shape and meaning to life. When we truly understand impermanence, he said, we naturally give rise to deep gratitude. And again, gratitude, it doesn't mean that we're no longer sad or grieving. It means that even within sadness, we recognize the preciousness of what we have been given. And as we begin this new year, and as we remember those honored in this Shotsuki Monthly Memorial Service, we are reminded that our lives are carried because of them. And because they continue to be with us, they always matter. And each encounter matters. Each word matters. Each moment of kindness matters. And this is why Shinran Shonin emphasized listening deeply to the Dharma, listening as if this is our first opportunity and our last opportunity to listen to the Dharma, not as a practice to perfect ourselves, but as a way of being awakened again and again to the truth of our lives. We did not choose impermanence. We did not choose loss, but within this reality, we are embraced by boundless compassion. Amida Buddha's compassion does not remove our grief, but it holds us within it. It assures us that even in our sorrow, even in our confusion, even in our longing, and sometimes even in our anger, we are never abandoned. As we remember birthdays that no longer can be celebrated the same way, as we step into another year without those who we dearly miss, may we allow the grief to soften into deep appreciation. Appreciation for the time we were given, appreciation for the love that continues to shape us, appreciation for this one precious life we are living now. This year and this new year will not be the same as it once was before. And it never is. And that too is impermanence. And may we live this year with open hearts. May we remember it deeply. May we grieve honestly. And may we live our one and only lives with gratitude, aware that each moment, just as it is worthy of reverence. Please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. And before I conclude my Dharma message, I would like to just finish reading the letter on white ashes by Renyo Shonin, just because it is so important to this understanding of impermanence and living our one and only life. So please bow your head in reverence as this letter is read. On white ashes, and silently contemplating the transient nature of human existence, nothing is more fragile and fleeting in this world than the life of humans. Thus we have not heard of human life lasting for 10,000 years. Life swiftly passes, and who among us can maintain their form for even 100 years? Whether I go before others or others go before me, whether it be today or whether it be tomorrow, who is to know? Those who leap before us are as countless and as fragile as the drops of dew. Though in the morning we may have radiant health, in the evening we may be white ashes. When the winds of impermanence, our eyes are closed forever, and when the last breath leaves us, our face loses its color. Though loved ones gather and lament, everything is of no avail. The body is then sent into an open field and vanishes from this world with the smoke of cremation, leaving only the white ashes. There is nothing more real than this truth of life. The fragile nature of human existence underlies both the young and the old, and therefore we must, one and all, turn to the teaching of the Buddha and awaken to the ultimate source of life. By so understanding the meaning of death, we shall come to fully appreciate the meaning of this life, which is unrepeatable and thus to be treasured above all else. By virtue of true compassion, let us realize the unexcelled value of our human existence, and let us live with the Namu Amida Butsu in our hearts, humbly and respectfully. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Okay, so for our final gatha, we will sing Ondoksa number 2, which can be found on page 197, and this will be led by our minister's assistants, May and Kay, and this will be followed by the closing meditation. So please stand if it's comfortable for you to do so for Ondoksa number 2. I'd like to share the translation of Ondoksan 2 in gratitude. The debt of gratitude I owe to Amida's great compassion, I proclaim and tell, my life disintegrates into dust. The debt of gratitude I owe to my Dharma teachers, I will express and tell, my bodily form is finally shattered. Please join me in Gasho for the closing meditation. May we all truly reflect with gratitude and humility on that which we have been allowed to receive through the teachings of the Buddha. May we always endeavor to listen intently with our fellow beings to the summoning voice of Amida Buddha, and together as one be born in Amida's pure land. With a radiant and boundless mind, may we each regard all living beings with loving kindness without limit. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandabutsu. Namandabutsu. You may be seated. Thank you. Okay, so this will conclude today's Shotsuki monthly memorial service for January. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. And thank you so much to Darlene Bagshaw for playing the organ. And of course, Charlie is working in the back streaming. So thank you so much, Charlie. Thank you to my minister's assistants, Kay and May, for your assistance with setting up the service and getting everything ready. And of course, Tad Shibata for doing the flowers for me. So thank you, everybody, for your attendance. I know I think it's still raining pretty hard, so please be safe traveling home. But before you go home, please feel free to enjoy coffee and snacks and fellowship in the mini chapel. Okay, so again, Happy New Year, everybody, and please continue to be healthy and well. Thank you. For Saturday service?
Because we ran out of lay people that are wanting to volunteer from here. So I contacted Kathy Clark. Do you know who she is? She wrote, go online and on the BCA YouTube, BCA Music YouTube. There's a song called Mindful Moments. She wrote the lyrics and BJ Soriano did the music. But she's blind. I don't know when she became blind, but she does not have an iota of self-pity. She's a very positive person, very uplifting. Where is she from? She's from Palo Alto, but we got plenty of money, for it. But she's from Palo Alto. She's a very positive person. She has a wonderful smile. She's, but like I said, she's blind, and she don't care where. I was sitting across from where we were eating, and when she reached for to get something with her, she must be able to see shadows. Because she went to look for, to pick up a piece of something in her bento box, and she accidentally hooked the cup of shoyu. So I told her, oh, you got the shoyu cup? And she says, oh, thank you, not